Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Plough Lane Podcast. As per usual, we have a lot to talk about. We've had a little bit of a positive and negative week, beating Gillingham 2-0 earlier on in the week. But first of all, we'll talk about the game yesterday, a 2-0 defeat to Newport. We'll be talking about all of the players' performances, talking about the subs. I think Kelly came on and was good. Did we get anything wrong in the lineup? Then we'll go on to Gillingham. Then we'll get on to season expectations and where we think we'll end up in the end of the season. The Plough Lane atmosphere, Hector wanted to talk about that. To be fair, it's been rubbish. I also saw a tweet saying why do loads of English fans keep trying to make their songs faster? And I think that will come up today in the podcast. Then we'll go on to Crewe and talking about how you might need to change because there's some players out, but there could be some players coming in. And then we'll end off with the score predictions for Crewe. And yeah, we don't have a Tuesday night game, so we don't need to talk about that. We had a 6-day break, and hopefully the players can reform and get their form back. Hector, how are you on this fine Sunday evening?
Yeah, not bad at all, mate. How are you?
I'm all right. I mean, yesterday was a bit confusing. I think, I don't know if it was unexpected, undeserved, what went wrong. I don't really know. It was a pretty different performance to Gillingham on Tuesday. What are your overall thoughts on that?
You know what? I didn't think we were particularly bad. I just don't think it was our day. We've gone 4 unbeaten, and you can't win them all, especially because they're still in reach of playoffs. They're still fully going for it, and I think the ref played a part in that horrible referee. We weren't clinical. We weren't clinical up top. We weren't creating much. We weren't amazing in the midfield. It just wasn't really our day. After quite a lot of games in such a small time, I think it's just bound for a loss.
But the thing is, right, in this league, especially because it's pretty much like a mini league in the middle of the table, just fighting for those last playoff spot or maybe the last two. Is that a type of performance of why we won't get the playoffs, or what do you think?
Well, teams also around us, they played pretty rubbish sides. Like they played Gillingham played Grimsby and they drew 1-1. They're pushing playoffs. I mean, that was a missed opportunity. If we won that, we would have been how many points clear? Maybe was it 4 points clear? We would have been.
Yeah, 4 points clear, and especially because Morecambe lost 3-1 to Salford today.
Exactly. So it was a massive missed opportunity, and every game is a cup final. So. And I don't think the performance was particularly bad, especially because now we have a whole week ahead to prepare for, Crewe, who are 4th, 5th in the table?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Do you think come the end of the season, it will be games like yesterday, games like Crawley, Sutton, maybe Grimsby at home? Do you think those games will maybe make us just not get into the playoffs? Because I think there's been so many missed opportunities, as you said, like yesterday. Do you think those games will just impact us come the end of the season?
Well, the time will tell. We will have to see how the rest of the season plays out. We've got how many games to go? 7 or
7, I believe. Yeah,
7. Just time will tell, and how we play in those 7 games. And if we don't take our chances and miss more opportunities like we did yesterday, that will tell us if Sutton, like those terrible games, just cost us like in the season as a whole.
That is very true. And now we're going to talk through each player's performance. We'll start with the starting 11. We had Bass in goal, Barmer, a back three of Barmer, O'Toole and Brown, Newville and Curry as wing backs with Reeves and Little in the middle. And then it was, I don't even know what it was. Was it Gordon? It was Gordon, Curtis and Bugle. I can't really remember what formation we went. But we'll start with Bass. To be honest, I thought he kept us in the game. He's had the most clean sheets in the league so far. I believe it's 15 now. And then it's Christy Pym, which has 13. Did Mansfield concede a goal yesterday? I think they did. So that's still 13 for him and then 15 for Bass. Bass has kept us in so many games this year. I also saw a stat. Oh, God, I'm going to put myself under pressure. I forgot it. It's pretty much just, oh, God, I forgot it now. But it's something about when Wimbledon go 1-0 up, we just play really well. And I think it's like 14. Whenever we go whenever we go 1-0 down.
Wait, I'll bring up this stat. I know what account it's
Yeah.
from.
Yes, thank you so much. You're actually a lifesaver.
Yeah. Right.
I think it's Plough Lane
The last
numbers. Or
39 games in the league and cup, when we've scored first, we've won 17, drawn 1, lost nothing.
Yep.
When we've conceded first, we've won 1, which was Tranmere at home when we won 4-1. Drawn 1, lost 14, and then the other 5 are 0-0 draws. That's horrible.
That is a absolutely crazy stat. To be honest, it's good that that's improved since last season and a little bit of the season before, where we just went 1-0 up and bottled every single game. Let's just move on back to Bass. Hector, how was Bass for you yesterday, and how has he been overall in the season?
Yesterday was brilliant. He made I think a save in the first half where one of their players was through and he stopped it. That was, I thought that was going to keep us in it, but he's kept us in a lot this season. He made so many good saves. He hasn't really made many crucial mistakes. Obviously he's going to let a couple in. He can't save them all. He's been absolutely incredible for us. He's definitely been he's been brilliant all over the place. He's been shot stopping with his feet as well, like some of the sending players with his feet.
Yeah. He tried to do it yesterday and he got fouled, I think.
Oh yeah,
second half.
It wasn't even a booking.
No, he didn't book it. I think that's crazy, to be honest. How likely do you think we could maybe get him on a permanent from Sunderland? Or do you think he'll go up? Obviously, he won't get minutes for Sunderland, but do you see him maybe dropping into League One, another loan? What do you think? I think he loves it at Wimbledon. He's got to.
He has to. You could see when we scored against MK, he knee slid and picked up the pyro. You could see. I think he loves it here, and I think the fans would love him to stay. I think he'd love to stay, but I reckon he could slip up to a League One side and do pretty well there. Getting a first team quite easily.
He also seems that really quiet individual. We haven't really seen a lot of interviews of Bass. He kind of just comes in, does the job, and then goes home, repeat pretty much, which I think is really good. It's a big improvement from Zanev, but we won't go into that too much. So we had a back three of Barmer, O'Toole and Brown. That could change next week, to be honest. We'll go on to Crewe later on in the podcast. And because Johnson and Lewis were both training before the game yesterday against Newport, and they look good. They look ready. Johnny Jackson said they might have a friendly midweek to get them some minutes, so that will be very good. Especially Joe Lewis. He looks more fitter than Johnson, obviously. He's done more training than him. But yeah, so that might change against Crewe, hopefully. Well, maybe not hopefully, but we'll see. Hector, how did Barmer, O'Toole and Brown do for you yesterday?
Probably their worst game as a defending line. I think that second goal, it was just quite poor, wasn't it? Barmer took a horrible touch and it went straight to the back post. Jack Curry's lost his man. Doesn't even know where his man is, and he just put it in. It's probably after four clean sheets in a row. I think it's going to happen. It's inevitable.
Yeah.
But it was probably their worst game as a defending line. I think I would still keep them the same until if we can see a problem, then change it. But at the moment, I don't really see anything too concerning.
That's true. I think also on the first goal, John Joe O'Toole got holed up quite physically. No one was really marking the guy that had a shot, but I'm not really worried about that one, to be fair.
Screamer.
Yeah, incredible strike, and especially when it goes through Lee Brown's legs, Bass can't really do anything. He actually, Bass, to be fair to him, he got pretty close. But yeah, that's one of those goals where you can't really do much about it. On the wings, we had Newville and Curry as wing backs. I think Curry, he had a decent game. Newville, to be fair, I didn't really see a lot of them. I thought Newville was really good against Gillingham, but yeah, pretty different performance. Curry, he just comes in, does the job. He kind of slips up a little bit for the second goal, not following his man. He didn't even realise he was there, the guy that scored the second goal. Had an off day, maybe. Hector, what do you think about Curry and Newville's performance from yesterday?
Didn't really see much of Newville. Not really much to say about him. And then Jack Curry, again, it wasn't his best performance, but it wasn't bad. He could have done a lot better for that second goal. He just looked quite clueless as well.
Yeah.
He had another chance. I think Bass saved it where Jack Curry sort of missed the ball, and it's He made a couple of mistakes again, and it's going to happen at some point. I don't want to criticize him too much because the past 4 games and over the season he's been absolutely quality. So
yeah, exactly. I agree. We had Reeves and Little in the middle. I thought Little, he just seemed a little bit off it. The pass, Hector put his thumbs down there. I agree. I don't know. Little it didn't really go right for him yesterday. I mean, he was trying to do the things that he always does, and it just didn't really go off for him. I thought Reeves was good. He always picks up the ball, drives forward. That's just normal Reeves, pretty impressive. But yeah, Little had a little bit of an off game. People were saying start ball, which I don't really think I agree. I think Reeves and Little are quite good together. Everyone has an off day. We've been playing Tuesday, Saturday for the past 2-3 weeks. So a loss was going to happen. Wimbledon will never win loads of games in a row. It was just going to happen. Hector, what do you think about Reeves and Little's performances? Especially, I mean, I thought Little was all right, even though he had a pretty much of an off day.
Yeah, it was definitely an off day for him. Reeves, he still looks all right, but people who say start ball over Little, I don't agree with it because that partnership of Little and Reeves the whole season has been phenomenal. And after playing Tuesday, Saturday for 2 weeks consecutively, you're not going to play like your best every single week. You're going to be knackered at some point, and it's just going to be this game, isn't it? Because it's the last one until we have a week's break. So it was sort of bound to happen. Like the result, it was sort of expected. I was expecting it because everyone's going to be knackered, and them two playing week in, week out. Fair play to them, but obviously you can have an off day and can't really blame them.
Yeah, exactly. It's just so annoying. We could have gone 4 points clear in the playoffs if we won. But oh well, there's teams that slipped up around us, so it's not the biggest problem, but could be a problem in the last couple of weeks of the season. And then the last 3 players we'll talk about is Gordon, Curtis, and Bugle. There's something about Curtis, which I know he's been brilliant. He scored a last-minute goal against Mansfield, a last-minute goal against MK. He's always seems better coming off the bench. He had a couple chances in the first half. He had a free kick, which was well saved. I don't know. Bugle was decent. Gordon, he was all right against Gillingham. Didn't create as much today.
I think he was right.
Say again?
I thought he was all right yesterday.
Who?
I think he was too bad. Gordon.
Yeah, he was decent. I don't know. Maybe just a little bit of a shock result for me. A little bit unexpected, a little bit annoyed. Hector, talk me through your thoughts of those 3 players.
Curtis, again, nowhere to be seen. I don't know what it is about him when he starts. When he comes off the bench, he's brilliant. He's always noticed. When he starts, it's just he's nowhere to be seen. He will come into the game once or twice a half.
Yeah.
He's just always more impactful off the bench, and and then Bugle, he was all right. He didn't have a bad game. Nothing much to really say about him. I thought he was all right. Gordon, I thought he created a bit. I could see him trying to create a bit.
You think it's just the end product?
Yeah, it is definitely the end product. That it seemed like we weren't going to finish anything, and I think it's also with creating chances. We didn't create anything that was really clear cut. We didn't have anything that we should have scored. So I don't really know.
It's a tough one. The thing is with Curtis is he was obviously brilliant. We know what he can do, and it just seems like even though he's trained with us for ages, he just doesn't seem that fit. He just he kind of just jogs around a lot. But I don't know. Yeah. Curtis is good. We know what he can bring. He's for those clutch moments, isn't he? But I think we should just wipe off Saturday, to be honest, move on, still in the playoffs. To be honest, we're going to move on to our expectations and predictions for the end of the season. I don't even really know if I want to get playoffs, because if we do go up to League One, I think we'll become like Carlisle or Cambridge.
Right, down, straight back down.
Yeah, exactly. It could easily happen. And League Two looks a lot easier next year. So I think if we just have a decent run to the end of the season, maybe don't get in playoffs and then go again next year, go for top 3. I think that'll be good. Let's talk about the subs quickly and then we'll get on to our 2-0 win against Gillingham. Kelly came on, created chances, got so unlucky. What the hell does he have to do to score? To be honest, he hit the bar, had a shot from the right side of the box, just went wide of the post. He actually looked a lot more physical, which is really good to see. Sasu came on. Seems like he just jogs around, to be honest. He doesn't actually sprint. But and then Ball came on for Little because he had an off day. Didn't really see a lot from Ball, to be honest. Had a decent couple balls. But yeah, other than that, not really much to say about James Ball. I think we should just mainly talk about Kelly, Hector. I thought he was brilliant when he came on, just got so unlucky at the end. What the hell does he have to do to score, Hector?
I don't know. It looks like every week he's just getting better. I thought it was quality. He looked stronger. He looked more confident, and he looked more agile. He just needs to get the ball into the back of the net.
When will it happen?
He's so clear cut, it's impossible to miss.
Yeah.
He didn't have anything clear cut yesterday, so it's fair enough that he didn't score. He had that chip that hit the bar. That was
so close.
I'm quite surprised that he's even gone for that. And before that, he looked really strong. He budged someone who looked twice as high off the ball, which was, surprising. And then I think when he was sitting at the edge of the box, he did a couple of twists and turns, and the shot just went wide. I remember that. I thought he was really good, and he's definitely really close to getting that all-important goal that will set him off.
Do you think he should have started? Because I think yesterday would have been the type of game for him, maybe. I don't know. I just feel like with that final ball over the top, a little bit of pace to get him behind, because they're quite strong defensively. And yet when he came on, he's shown what he can do. Just got very unlucky. Maybe do you think Kelly should have started? And was there anything wrong in the lineup that maybe should have changed?
I think if he can play like that, how he did every game, all game, yes, start him. But if he's getting them clear-cut opportunities, there's one-on-ones, and just not taking them, there's no point, is there? And then also lumping it up to him again. I think there was a little bit too much lumping it yesterday.
I feel like that's just the pressure, though. With the last couple of minutes, players tend to do it. But to be fair,
the whole game it was just lumping it, wasn't it?
Do you think we dominated the game yesterday?
At certain points,
yeah.
Especially that before the second goal, we did not deserve that. They had literally nothing before that, and they got one free kick and they scored. It was. That's just
typical Wimbledon with not being clinical enough.
Typical us. We need to be more clinical on the attack. We need to create more clear-cut chances, and when we get those clear-cut chances, put them away. Especially at this point in the season, it's just crucial, isn't it?
Exactly. Let's move on to the other game we had this week on Tuesday night. We had a decent win over Gillingham. We leapfrogged them in the league, which was good to see. It's pretty much the opposite performance from yesterday, to be honest. I thought we had a lot more clear-cut chances, but we took them. The first goal from Bugle, a brilliant cross by Reeves. Maybe the keeper should have done better. And maybe the same with the second one, to be honest. A good shot by Reeves, parried out, and then Bugle taps it home. They got a red card pretty close after the first goal from Bugle. And then after that, we pretty much dominated the game. Pretty positive performance. I just really hoped, to be fair, I thought we would have carried on that type of performance against Newport. I think we tried to, but it just didn't work. Hector, it was a good win against Gillingham, but it's a little bit disappointing that we didn't carry it up. Let's just talk about Gillingham. What were your thoughts on that game?
Yeah, overall, I remember it being quite good. I don't remember much specifics from quite a while ago. It was a brilliant result. It sent us into the playoffs. It was crucial. If we didn't win that, we wouldn't be where we were now. And I think, it was brilliant. I think Bugle again was excellent. He was pretty good. I think their keeper was rubbish.
Yeah. To be fair, I thought we should have scored more, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, we just aren't clinical up top, are we? I think their keeper, I don't know what he was doing on the first one.
Yeah, it was a weird one.
Dived
I think he thought it was going wide, to be honest.
Yeah, but it looked like he dives as a joke and it's gone over it.
That is true.
It
They
was
also got a red card after Bugle's goal, and then we pretty much dominated the game. And I think that's all we should talk about, Gillingham, to be honest. I know because we did a podcast on Sunday when we have a Tuesday night game, we forget what happens, but it was a good 3 points, leapfrog Gillingham in the league and kept our playoff places high, but then they might have been halted after yesterday. Let's talk about and move on to a new topic about where we think we'll get at the end of the season. We got a tough run in. We have Crewe next week, and then in the Easter term, we have Harrogate and then Stockport, which is a very, very tough game. Stockport away, Crewe away, all playoff chasing sides. But then at the end of the season, we have Tranmere, Swindon, Walsall, which are kind of around us, a little bit more towards the end of the table. Hector, where do you see us coming at the end of the season? Do you think we'll get playoffs, or do you actually want playoffs? I don't know.
See, the answer to both of those questions is I don't know. If we manage to somehow get playoffs, play like Prime Barcelona every game, and we go up to League One, I don't think we'll do well in League One. I think going through playoffs, I think we'll struggle so much in that league.
Yeah.
Especially, I think if we stay down this year, I think we will go through autumn. We'll look at winning the league next year.
Yeah.
Going through automatics and then doing well in League One the season after. I think I'd prefer that to going up now and just coming straight back down the next season.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if we are going to get playoffs because, the teams are all playing all around us. They're in and around the playoffs. They're on good form. They're really tough
Games
teams.
in hand as well.
Especially, it could even come down to the last day, and we've got Walsall who are like a point away from us.
And they are, with a game in hand. Crawley are also 2 points away from us with 3 games on hand against us, but I believe 2 of those are, they've played 36, we've played 39. Their Tuesday night games, they have Wrexham away, Barrow at home, and I don't actually know what their other game. Oh, they play tomorrow actually against Stockport, so that's a game in hand. I don't know if that's on telly. I don't think it is, but they have a lot of games in hand, but they're all against teams in the top 7, to be honest. So you never know what could happen there. My predictions for the end of the season: I want us to finish like 10th, just stability in the league. To be honest, I was talking to my dad today about where I think we'll end up at the end of the season, and we all look. I think finishing 10th, 9th is good. I just want a positive run to the end of the season, pick up wins now and then. To be honest, we've got a tough run in. Maybe get a good result against Crewe and Stockport. But I agree with Hector. I think if we go up, that will be it will just be the Wimbledon that we've seen in the last couple of years. We've just tried to battle relegation, just staying up on the last day by a couple points. I think we'll easily go straight back down. But to be honest, I don't know. If the season ended now, Hector, we would play MK in the playoffs. What do you think would happen? I don't think we'd turn up.
It's my worst nightmare.
Would you rather play them at Wembley or over 2 legs?
No, I don't know. I don't even want to play them. Because, losing, the thought of losing to them in that sort of situation,
you'd never hear the end of it.
It would make I would genuinely vomit if we lost. And I don't even think I could bring myself to go. It's so tense to go. If we lose, that's it. You'll never hear the end of that.
I think I'd delete all my socials, to be honest.
They'll bang on about that for more than 10 years.
Yeah.
It ruined my year. Just 100%. The thought of it as well.
If we stayed in the league, would you rather them go up or down?
Obviously, I'd like them to stay down if we didn't go
up. I
never win promotion. I don't.
It's fun to play them when we win, but it doesn't happen often, to be fair.
Well, I think Plough Lane might be the new place to do that.
100%
against them at Plough Lane.
That is very true. I think we've had 3 games against them at Plough Lane. We had 1 behind closed doors, lost that game, then we had a draw and a win. So you never know what could happen next. We've had all three type of results there. So
losses at Plough Lane in front of fans.
Yeah, that's true. As we're talking about Plough Lane, you wanted to talk about the atmosphere at Plough Lane. It's very weird. The away atmosphere at Plough Lane, the away atmosphere for Wimbledon games has been brilliant. Notts County was good. Even Wrexham was good. What other ones we had? Sutton, Crawley, absolutely brilliant. But it just seems like at Plough Lane, it's very weird. It's very flat. Whenever we go 1-0 down, it's just quiet. But I mean, I know Wimbledon had a lot of new fans there yesterday. They did the kids for £1, so it's a good initiative to get fans going. But Hector, talk me through your thoughts on the Plough Lane atmosphere and how do we make it improve if it does need to be improved?
Yeah, it's horrible at the moment, especially with the position we're in, and the making the noise and making that difference to the performances. It's just it's just crucial, especially at this stage, isn't it? Just sitting up and singing the Wimbledon songs, and keeping the timings as well. It really bugs me when people bang on the wall extremely fast and it just ends.
You've been doing well. You've been doing well in the banging of the wall lately, haven't you?
I've done. Someone destroyed it for banging, but I think it is really poor, especially because the fans are probably needed more than ever. And most of the time, Plough Lane is extremely quiet. And
how does it improve?
Sing slower, and people just need to sing up. And there's too many tourists and kids that don't know lyrics, I think. Because I heard.
To be fair, Hector, you've been badgering on about me uploading a new video about part 2 of the songs of Wimbledon. I just don't have enough clips for it. I'm sorry.
The thing is, remember when you released that first one?
Plough
Lane suddenly got louder.
Okay, actually, can we just say some context? So basically, it was in September on the game of Stevenage at home in the Bristol Street Motors Trophy. I uploaded a video of all of the clips of the songs that I've got on record, and I put that on my YouTube video. It's got loads of views, like 7,000 or something, which is well good. And then it was Stockport at home on that Saturday. And Hector, talk us through that atmosphere at Stockport at home after I uploaded that video.
I think it was we lost 2-1.
Yeah.
And all the chants that were quieter the week before just got louder.
Yeah.
It was whoa, what's happened here? And and then it suddenly died off since, and I don't know why. Over time, it just got a little bit.
I think I just need to upload a chants video every week just to remind people.
But there needs to be something less tourists and less kids that don't know lyrics in these blocks. And then it's hard as well because there's people that don't know. It's like set 8 music and you don't know basic timings. Suddenly you go from really slow and then you just start speeding.
I feel like we need to get some new songs, to be honest.
Do you think? I can agree with that. Because I think, especially the James Tilley song, it used to be really loud, didn't it? And
to be fair, he was bang on form. But the Dons Are Going Up LA song is brilliant. Everyone knows it. It's short. We need to just have some songs like that, some more familiar songs.
I think with the chants that some people make, they're just too complex and there's too many words and there's too many words and they just won't catch on. You can't imagine a crowd of 1,200 people singing that many words that fast. you need something basic that will create a lot of noise and people will catch on the lyrics too easily. So when you get it going, you won't be having to people ask on social media what are the lyrics to this chant. They can just know it from hearing it.
Yeah. Johnny's at the wheel. Should we get that?
What?
Oh, Johnny's at the wheel. Tell me how good does it now? We're not singing that. I don't think that's a good idea. But no, I think the Plough Lane atmosphere has been really odd. It might be because where fans are situated in the South Stand, in away games, you have everyone together, everyone that knows the words together. But we got some tough games coming up at home. Sing up if you're there. Make Plough Lane a fortress like it was against MK. That was good. We had all 3 stands were standing up singing their hearts out. I know it's MK. Everyone's going to do that. Fair enough. But the atmosphere was brilliant, and the boys need your support through the last games of the season. Talking about the last couple of games of the season, we have Crewe on Saturday. Crewe away from home. They currently sit 5th in the table on 64 points. This is going to be a very tough one. To be fair, I didn't expect Crewe to be this high up at this stage of the season. But when we played them at home at Plough Lane in September, it was a 2-2 draw. James Tiddy scored 2. And then we bottled it right at the end. It was a very weird performance, unexpected, especially from going 2-0 up. I didn't see that happening. But I don't really know what's going to happen here, to be honest. Crewe in the last 5 games, starting from the 24th of Feb, they beat Notts County away 3-1. But then since then, they haven't been on the best of form. They lost 3-2 to Morecambe, 2-0 to Doncaster, which is a crazy result for them. I thought Doncaster were poor against us and they still beat us. Then they narrowly beat bottom of the table Sutton 1-0 and then lost 3-1 to the franchise this weekend. I don't really know what's going to happen. Hector, what are you expecting from this game?
Well, all I know is it's a winnable game. We're not on Tuesday this week, and there's a lot of time to prepare for this one. And again, this is another cup final because, what is it? Walsall will have MK. They're going to lose probably, actually. So this is another opportunity to go clear into the playoffs and hopefully try and secure it. And especially because they're not on the best form. Like, it's not hard to beat Notts County, as proven. It's not hard to beat Sutton, they're bottom. So the 2 teams that are beaten in the last 5 aren't even that good. And the teams that they lost to aren't even very good either. Like, they've lost to Morecambe, who lost 3-1 to Salford today. So it's like...
To be honest, there are some massive games in League 2 on the weekend. Stockport play MK on Sky Sports, which is massive. Morecambe, Gillingham, quite close together in the table. And there's also some teams which are at the top playing at the bottom. And that was the same on Saturday. There was teams which slipped up and we didn't, take the chances and didn't get inside the playoffs, which is so annoying. My expectations for Crewe, I don't really know what's going to happen. I think it's an easily winnable game. They're not on the best of form at the moment, and if we're up for it and we put out the right lineup, we can easily go and win this game. Talking about lineups, Hector, we don't have Omar Bugle. He's out on international duty in Australia, so we are going to have to change it up there. Would you bring Kelly in? Would you do a change of formation, maybe 4-4-2 with Davison and Kelly, or would you put Kelly up on his own? What do you think? What formation and who should be changing the lineup?
I think Kelly. We need to start Kelly. I don't think he should be on the bench again after his performance on Saturday. He doesn't deserve to, stay on the bench. I think Curtis should come in for Bugle, and that's probably the only change. And then with him being up there on his own, I think we have to stop playing it in the air because it clearly doesn't work when he's up there on his own. Playing it in the air, he just doesn't do anything. It has to be played on the floor. Because if it's played on the floor, he's going to get those chances and he's going to hopefully tuck them away. But if it's played in the air, he's just going to be, seconds for every ball, and we're going to get absolutely nothing out of the game. So it's about to die. We plug it in.
Oh no! What's going on?
Laptop was about to die.
Oh no! You don't want the laptop to die halfway through a podcast. Okay. I also maybe thought a change of formation might be a good idea. We've played 5 at the back for the last couple of weeks. I think maybe going to a 4-4-2 might be a good idea, but just because of how good Crewe can be, do you maybe think a change of formation is a good idea? Or to be fair, 3-5-1-1 or 3-5-2, whatever we've done, it has worked. Do you think there's a risk to change it? Maybe.
I'm happy with the back line. They have 4 clean sheets in a row. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And then the midfield, obviously, yesterday it's just like a little bit of an off day. So,
Do you think Lewis and Johnson might come back in and change? You don't think? I actually think one of them might.
One of them should come on the bench, and then if we're having a bit of a terrible day in defence, just stick one of them on. Not both of them.
That's true. Just before the end of the podcast, before we get into the predictions of Crewe away, I wanted to go through the rest of the games of the season and see how many points you think we'll pick up, because I think that's quite interesting, to be honest. Let's start with Crewe. Do you think we'll win? You think?
It's winnable, yes. But I think it will be a 0-0. I think it's got that written all over it.
I can see that happening, to be honest. Oh, that's so annoying. Harrogate at home. I think that's a game which is a must-win.
That is a must-win. It's not
be
even a
honest,
must-lose. It's a must-win. We can't even draw.
Harrogate have actually quite dropped off now. They were inside the playoffs, and now they are 6 points away from the playoffs. I mean, anyone can still get into the playoffs. But when we beat them 1-0, I thought they were awful, but we just didn't take our chances, didn't capitalise enough. What do you think about Harrogate at home? Do you think we should be picking up 3 points there as well?
They've definitely fallen off. They were like high up in the playoffs, and I think it's not even a must lose. It's a must not lose. It's a must win. We can't even take a point. I think 3 points would be in that playoff race, and I think it's doable, especially because they've fallen off a little bit. And I think it was bound to happen. They've done pretty well with the tiny little budget they've had. They are a small club. They've done pretty well for themselves, but I think it's about time they've fallen off. I think it is doable. I think we might actually go ahead and win that one.
I really hope so. And then a couple of days later, we play Stockport away, which is very tough. But to be fair, we've beaten some big teams this year. We've beaten Mansfield, Notts County, and MK as well. They're up there, so that counts as well. Stockport away, Hector. I don't know why you're laughing. You're like you look quite funny at the moment. Stockport away. What do you think?
They've also fell off form a little bit, haven't they? They've not won in 4. Is it?
In their last 4 games, actually. So from Tuesday the 13th of Feb, they lost 3-1 to Crewe, then lost 4-0 to Stockport after that. But since then, they've had 2 0-0 draws with Gillingham and Swindon, beat Newport 1-0, and then drew 2-2 with Salford, also coming back from behind, so they easily could have lost that as well.
I think it's doable. I think it is doable.
You think we're going to get playoffs, don't you?
I want us to. I would like to. I think we need to turn up to every single game and treat it like it's a playoff semi-final.
That's true, but it won't happen.
Yeah, it's just not going to happen. It won't happen. Knowing Wimbledon, it's just not going to happen, and we're going to go and lose 8-0 to them.
To be fair, Stockport did beat Sutton 8-0, and we lost to Sutton. So if you think about it in that way, that could be bad. Salford at home. It's the return of Carl Robinson, the former MK manager. So that will be a pretty fun day at Plough Lane. I don't know where you've gone. Something is going on in your minds, Hector. Are you okay? Are you okay?
I'm all good. Don't worry. I'm just messing about with this.
You're just playing with your coat hanger.
Yes.
That's very weird. Salford at home. Do you think to be fair, when we played Salford, we missed about 3 1-on-1s in that game, which was pretty awful. Ali had an absolute stinker that game. Salford at home. What do you think will happen?
They're 20th in the league, aren't they?
I believe. Yes, they are.
They beat Morecambe 3-1, and it just depends how they perform later on in the season. It depends how we are. Going further on in, you just can't you can't really tell, can you? If we start losing and we fall into 12th, and then we're out of reach, the players are just gonna have their minds focused on being on a beach in Ibiza or something.
To be fair, I could easily see. Okay, here's another question: Who would be the most partiest person in the squad? Who do you think?
Ooh.
What a question that is. Who do you see? Who do you see marching the beaches of Ibiza on a summer holiday?
What a question this is. Right, hang on. I have to take some time to think about this one. Ooh.
Give me time.
You know what?
I think I know my answer.
Go on, tell me yours first while I think about mine.
Ronan Curtis. I think he has that I think he has that bad person, bad boy type of thing about him. Do you know what I mean?
You'd see him rocking around the streets with a balaclava on and stuff.
Maybe. maybe Jack Curry because he's young. This episode of the podcast, I'm really sorry for everyone listening, but it's kind of gone a bit away from Wimbledon, but I think it's quite funny. Who do you think? We need your answer.
I think Pell would be quite good on a night out.
Yeah.
Surely you can imagine that. You see him when we win a game, and it's like when all the players go over to the fans, he's always the one pushing people towards the fans and stuff.
Paul Calumbayi.
He's always in a club somewhere. Have you seen his Instagram stories?
No, I haven't. I don't look at his Instagram stories.
Oh, he's always in some sort of club.
Oh,
drinking some sort.
Interesting. Oh God. Right. Let's move on to the last bit of the podcast, and we'll come back into Wimbledon. I think one podcast we should just talk about random things. Maybe do it end of the season.
Brilliant podcast.
Yeah, that would be brilliant. Then the last 3 games of the season. This is maybe where the pressure might come to Wimbledon, if we're especially around the playoffs. We have 2 tough away games, Swindon, Tranmere, and then have a home game against Walsall. How many points do you see us picking up from the last 3 games of the season?
It's tough. It especially also depends on where we fall into the league when we come to those last 3 games. Because I think if it
bear in mind we'll have everyone fit as well.
Yeah, it's really tough, isn't it? Like Swindon, I think Swindon and Tranmere, they are extremely winnable matches. Like Swindon, they're rubbish. Tranmere, they've suddenly beat Wrexham, which is unexpected. They were good for a bit after they got a new manager, and then they've suddenly they fell off.
I didn't expect Swindon to be that low in the table. Like they are actually a decent team, but they just haven't done well. They also signed Harry McCurdy back. It was brilliant for them a couple of seasons ago in League Two, and now he's just I think he's only scored 1 goal or something. So that is crazy. Then Walsall at home. Do you think we can pick up a good win in there as well? To be fair, it's the same thing. You're going to say the same thing. It depends where we are in the table. If we're in the playoffs, we need to go for it,
Yeah, that could, if it comes down to the last day, it's really hard to tell. Because if it comes down to the last day for us, it will come down to the last day for them.
Yeah, could do.
It's like we have to win that. Like that's the game that we have to win. Of course, it falls on the last day.
Have you looked at Walsall's running towards the end of the season? They have a much easier one. They got Salford, Tranmere, Doncaster, Notts County, Swindon, Bradford, and us. That's decent. That's very good.
They're going to beat Notts County. They're going to beat Swindon. They're going to beat Bradford. Tranmere depends. They're going to beat. Yeah. Oh, that's really difficult. That's such a tough one. But especially they lost to Forest Green. Well, they won 5 in a row, and then lost to Forest Green second.
I'm not going to lie. We should have lost against Forest Green at their place.
I know.
We were.
To be fair, it was pissing it down. It was the worst ever.
The pitch was awful. It just the ball was skidding out of play for every single pass. It was horrible.
But yeah, they have an extremely easy run, and that's quite a difficult one to predict.
Yeah.
We have to win.
Well, to be fair, by your predictions, you seem like we could easily maybe even get in the automatics if other teams slip up, but definitely inside the playoffs.
I don't think anyone. I don't think Wrexham. I don't think MK.
Yeah, that's true.
At the moment, none of them look like they're just going to suddenly fall.
Who's your top 3 to go up?
Mansfield to win the league.
Yeah.
Wrexham to finish second.
Interesting. Stockport also have 2 games in hand, but one of them's tomorrow, so it's kind of just a 1 game in hand. And your 3rd place?
MK 3rd.
I actually agree with you.
I say that A because they're good, and I'm not going to deny that. And B because I don't want to play them in the playoffs. So you can have your automatic promotion.
I'd rather play Wrexham in the playoffs, to be fair.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we'll lose to them.
100%. But oh well. Let's go on to the final topic. It's not really a topic, but let's go back to Crewe and talk about what we think will happen in our score predictions. Our score predictions mostly. I'll start with mine. God, I haven't really even thought about it. I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw. I don't think I see us winning. Maybe we can snatch it. I don't know. Hector, you're quite confident. What is your score prediction to end off the podcast? And if we do score, who will score the goals?
0-0. I don't see us creating anything. Anything clear cut. Maybe not even anything that, I don't see us creating anything. Especially with no Bogle. I'm just not confident.
Yeah, we just don't have that physical asset.
If we can score first, by a record of scoring first, we can win that.
100%.
We will win. So it's going to be 0-0. We won't create anything. And I just see nobody scoring. And I see us being solid at the back and let them come at us. But I just don't see us creating anything when we can.
Yeah, I agree. Well, that's been quite a good podcast. We talked about some funny things. We had a lot of topics to talk about with Wimbledon. We talked about who would be in the club on the first day of the summer break for Wimbledon. So that's an interesting one. Let us know your thoughts on the podcast in the comments. We'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you ever want to join us on the podcast, let us know. We'd love to have all of you on some points towards the end of the season. But thank you for watching or listening to the podcast, wherever you're listening or watching it from. And let's hope Wimbledon can get a good win against Crewe and a successful week. We'll see you for a new podcast next Sunday. Thank you for listening.